Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Chad from Sports Card Yard. Welcome to the video. Today's video is going to be about, boom, the 2019 Bowman Chrome X IPO. This was a partnership between Topps and the new tech company StockX that has been known in the sneaker resale game for a while, and they launched this IPO, this initial product offering. There were some good things about it and some bad things. Let's take a look in the computer and see what's going on. Hey guys, welcome to the video. Chad here with you. Just gonna walk you through the way that this 2019 Bowman Chrome X IPO, the way it went, the way everything unfolded. Because if you look through some of the forums on Blowout and comments throughout Instagram and Facebook, there's a lot of backlash that they're getting with this IPO. And I do think that there were some things that they should have done better, but it wasn't a overall failure. I personally am not sure what I'm going to do with my box yet. You know, I will either hold it or probably open it, possibly sell it. But I'm leaning towards just holding it because we'll see as time goes on. But this could be, you know, the start of something new in the industry. And you know, I am a fan of StockX. I don't know how they will make an impact in the hobby or in sports cards. But as far as what they've accomplished up to this point with sneakers and all of that, they are a cool tech company, but they are not a baseball card company or a sports card company. So we have to keep that in mind. They are a tech company, and they're just trying to improve on, you know, something that's been around for years. And sometimes that's not a good thing, and people frown upon it, and some people will embrace it. But let's go over kind of what the way this went down. So StockX was trying to sell us on the fact that if you placed a blind bid for a box of this 2019 Bowman Chrome X, that they would take all the blind bids into consideration and come up with a clearing price. And let's say the clearing price, we'll just use what it actually ended up being, which is $50 on the dot. $50 even is the clearing price. So they're saying if you bid less than that, you did not receive a box. And if you bid more than $50, you will be charged $50 for a box, and that's just the way it works. So if you bid $5,000, you still get a box for $50. I placed a bid of $77 for a single box, so I did get the box for $50. I placed a bid for, I think, $205 for the 5-box case, which I think came out to like $41 a box. I just wanted to try two different numbers and see what I came up with. The 5-box case ended up selling for $300 plus shipping. After shipping, that is my first complaint about this. I got one little box that has one card inside of it, and it's very light, and I was charged, I want to say it was like $13 and some change in shipping. I'll have to confirm that, but it was just a little steep for such a small thing to ship. I kind of thought that was a little steep. And then if you break it down, so one box costs $50, and then for a 5-box case, it was $300, which came out to about $60 per case. That was a red flag for me to start with. Well, one, because I guess you could only get one box per customer, but normally if you buy a case of boxes, it's cheaper to buy a case of several boxes versus buying just, you know, 5 individual boxes. That's not the case here. It was actually more expensive. The reason for that, I could see why they did it, because you can only get one box per customer. So if you wanted to take advantage of the opportunity to buy a 5-box case, you'd have to pay a little extra for that opportunity. So let's see, you know, let's just look at right now on StockX. You can click this and it'll say this is what people are asking to sell their box on StockX. So people are asking as high as $600 for a box. That will not happen, I can guarantee you that. And then people are asking $97 is the lowest. So if you want to come on here and buy a box through StockX, the lowest ask price is $97. So that's the first good thing if you bought a box. Let's look at eBay. The first good thing here is that it's selling. As far as if you're a reseller or a flipper, you could have got a box for $60 some shipped, and this one sold for $99. Best offer of $110 or less. There's one of the cards, which is a Nolan Jones 2019 Bowman Chrome X. They're all numbered out of 31, and they're either a PSA 9 or a 10. Somebody took a best offer on that one. So the cards look like they're selling. Here's a 5-box case that someone bought for $5.95. So that's, you know, somebody made a good chunk of money off that. So that's so that's a good thing. If you bought a box, that's a good thing. Now, here's the biggest red flag that I personally came across. If you scroll down to the fine print here, it says, let's just find it here. I had it. All right, I copied and pasted. It's somewhere in this fine print, but here it is on a notepad. I'm going to read this. Just bear with me. I know it's going to be boring, but it's very short. Sponsor reserves, in this situation, which would be Topps, I would assume, because Topps was their partner, is discretion or to determine a price that is higher or lower than the original clearing price to charge for the goods, including but not limited to because sponsor desires to take certain goods into its own inventory or to unify clearing prices across different goods. So StockX sold us on this dream or this vision that they were going to, revolutionize the way that you would buy wax or buy a box of cards. And they said that, if we all placed our bid, that they would all take the bids into consideration and come up with a clearing price that was fair based off everybody's blind bid. That did not happen. I'm still waiting to see a recap of the IPO. They should do a blog post, StockX, that shows everything, and it should be as transparent, because if you go here and see for information on read our last IPO recap, let's just pull this up. This was a pair of Adidas that they did an IPO for, and it breaks down, how many bids they got and all that. I want to see this for this, and I know a lot of people in the hobby and in the industry want to see the same, because the first red flag for me was when I won a box. I bid 77 and I got it for 50. I thought that's really weird. If everybody placed a blind bid, and I know there was all kinds of different bids placed just from seeing, comments and people talking about it on social media. So I thought it was really odd that it was a really rounded number of $50 even. I just thought that the math, just basic math and finding averages and stuff, I just thought that was kind of odd. And then the $300 price on the 5-box case, of course, was kind of odd to me. So pretty much it was just a lie. They had a floor that they set in place, and that they were not going to sell these boxes for less than $50. So I didn't like that. A lot of people are upset about that. If you look at the forums on Blowout, they're blasting them, saying that they're reporting this company to the Better Business Bureau. I think that's a little drastic. We all knew that this was the first of its kind. I'm not at all upset about it. I did send them an email, and I asked them clear as day, did you have a price, that a minimum price set that was going to be the minimum, whether the blind bids were a certain amount or not? And they said that there was no minimum set. So maybe that's true on StockX's end, and maybe Topps is more to blame here. I'm not sure, but that was not the way that they sold this. People thought that this was really going to be a new transparent way of buying boxes of cards. So that was the first thing I did. That was the biggest thing that was a red flag to me. And that's going to be, I'm interested to see what their recap says, because it did not go the way that they sold us on it. Now, when they do their next one, maybe they will take that in consideration and do more of a actual blind bid type of scenario, because I thought that was a cool idea, but it means nothing to the consumers if you don't do what you say you're going to do. So StockX, if you watch this, that is the biggest red flag I've seen so far. So let's just look a little bit here. So if you want to go to stockx.com/news and then Topps, I'll put this link in the description, but you can go through and read this fine print that they had. I don't know exactly where it said the sponsor had the right to change that or whatever. I'm assuming the sponsor was Topps, since that's who partnered up with them on this. But that was my red flag there. If you look on StockX at their sales and their bids and their asks, no one's really blowing it out of the water as far as selling these through StockX. Now, we looked at the eBay sales, and there were fairly good flips on here where people made some money. I'm going to just save my box for now and just see how all this unfolds. I'm not really interested in the cards. I think they should have chose based off the time frame they launched this product, they should have chose a basketball or football product, in my opinion, because that's the season we're in right now. I may just hold this until baseball comes around, and then see if any of these players that are featured in here get hot. But overall, it was not what I thought it was going to be. So On a more positive note, and to give StockX some credit here, because I am on their side, I am a fan of StockX, and I am pulling for them. They did announce today that they're going to add Beckett graded cards on their site. So let's just do a search here and see if that is already available. Let's look up Luca and see if he has any Beckett cards on here. Okay, so let's look at the base prism like we did last time. Let's see, we go under grade. So I see PSA, yep, and they have added BGS. So there's no bids yet. Let's see, BGS 9. Doesn't look like there's any volume yet, but it is an option yet. So there's no sales coming through for Beckett on this particular card, but it is good to see that now they have PSA and now they have Beckett. So the StockX entering sports cards, there has been some ups and downs so far. I'm still a fan. I still plan on using the app to use this as another resource as more sales start to go through. Right now, I've tried to look a few cards up, and I didn't think that there was quite enough sales data to really use this as a reliable source for comps right now. But over time, I think it will be. I think it's going to bring a lot of attention to the hobby. Some of these old school collectors, they're not going to like the StockX entering this space and entering sports cards because they're just stuck in their ways. I don't think local card shops and group breakers and stuff like that should be threatened by StockX in any way. I think if anything, with the following StockX has, I think it's going to bring a lot of new eyes and people back into the hobby that may have collected when they were younger. So that's a good thing. If you're trying to sell your cards or trade your cards, they need people to be interested in the cards for them to be valuable. So just keep that in mind. If you don't think it's a good thing or it's attracting the wrong people to the hobby, that's your own opinion. I think it's a good thing. I think this is going to really boost cards in general. Cards were already moving up lately with some of these hot rookies in baseball, basketball, and there's some good ones in football as well. But I think they're still on the right track. We'll see. If I do open my box, I will certainly do a video. If they post the recap like they did for this Adidas shoe, I will certainly do another review about that and dig into this a little more. But I do think that overall they were not as transparent as they should have been. I think $50 for a box is a fair price, but it's not something I personally want to open. But I think they should have added some autograph cards, and we can nitpick the actual product all day long. But overall, the IPO, it did launch. People received their boxes on time, and they were not as transparent about the pricing model as they should have been. And maybe they'll come out and smooth things over. I think that they are a good company. They're good guys, and time will tell. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you around. So guys, with all that being said, I'm going to not sell my box. I'm not going to open my box. Sorry if you tuned into this video in hopes of watching me bust a box. There's other videos out there. I've seen them on there, so just look them up. But this Bowman Chrome X, it wasn't the best launch in my opinion, but it could be the start of something cool for the future. I'm not gonna bash them as of yet. I think that this was the first thing that they tried to do. There should have been more transparency, but I'm gonna hold this box. I appreciate you watching the video. Comment below, let us know, did you get a box? What do you think of it? Did it suck? Is it great? Do you think it will improve? And how is it gonna affect the hobby? So also, in the description below, there's a link to a Facebook group. It's our Sports Card Yard Facebook group. You can buy, sell, trade cards in there. You can talk about cards that you want to invest in, players you're watching, that kind of thing. And then we do group breaks, box breaks, personal boxes, all that fun stuff. So check out the Facebook group below. We hope to see you in there. Like this video and subscribe. We'll see you again soon.